What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, and I'm doing something a little bit different right now. I know that a lot of you have been having trouble accessing Game 1 of the Grand Finals between Na'Vi and Empire from the Starseries Season 3, so hell, I'm just gonna make my own. This is only going to be a recording of Game 1, because Game 2 and 3, well, you can just go ahead and go to Join Dota for those. Those seem to be working, but for all you US residents out there where Game 1 is not working, this is going to be for you. Just keep in mind that this is not exactly, well, I haven't really casted many .75 replays, and I kind of have spoiled this tournament, but I mean, it's impossible to avoid spoilers from a tournament like this. Like, I knew Na'Vi and Empire were going to be in the Grand Finals. I've known that for a couple days now. But, yeah, hopefully that won't really affect anything. My .75 casting will get a little bit of practice from this. If you are just following me ordinarily, then, well, you can just skip this one until later. Anyway, this is going to be between Na'Vi and Team Empire. This is .75. Na'Vi banning out the Undying as well as the Wisps, two heroes that, well, I know Empire has been using Undying quite a bit, and even in their .74 days, they've been using the Wisp to great effect. Na'Vi going to go with a very, very solid opening. Darkseer first pick into a CK Leshrac. Got the hard lane, got the dual lane going on there. Empire, their bans out the TA, who is still pretty much a top priority ban in this new .75 era. Bounty Hunter as well. I can't exactly speak to that one, but hell, he's not going to be in this game, so I guess I don't have to. Empire, they're going to go open up with the Bat Rider plus the Jakiro. Very exciting new stuff, really, for me at least, because I haven't been following .75 much, because all of the Starlight games thus far have been .74, but I know that Jakiro is really hot shit. I mean, no pun intended, but he's so very valuable to these guys. I think it's because, well, purely because of this ice path change. It's so much quicker, and it just so much easier to land right now. And he's really able to do a lot of damage for a very, very cheap mana cost. You can see it's 75. I think in .76 it's going to get buffed up to 100. But they're also going to open up with the Windrunner, so a pretty standard hero there. I don't think she's received any recent changes, so that's a very stable long lane hero if they choose to run it as such. The Bat Rider pick as well, kind of gaining popularity. Bat Rider used to be very popular before, like, the early .7 days, 6.7 days, but now with the slew of buffs that he has received, he's been very, very popular in these games. I haven't really seen him play it all that much because simply I haven't seen many .75 games, but I do know that he's been very, very effective. And Team Empire right now, they have some pretty good lane control. Their support lineup looking very solid. If they choose to do so, they could go for a little bit more hard carrying, or they could just go full on in the early stage power, pick up some heroes that won't exactly scale well into the late game, but will still provide your team with a good deal of early game power. Now Na'Vi, they're going to ban out the Bane Elemental. I mean, yeah, this is once again a case of me not keeping up with these teams. I mean, I've just been doing the, what is it called, the group stages, or like the ordinary games with like everyone, like before the LAN finals. That's where I'm still, that's where I'm casting from still, except for this game, which is a special exception. So I don't really know what's going on as far as that goes. There we go, I know what that ban means. Queen of Pain, because Na'Vi with CK Leshrac, although they can lane that in the mid lane together, I've seen that done on multiple occasions. It could be a little bit difficult, because if Bat Rider does go mid lane, then the Napalm is very, very easy to hit on both of them, and well, Leshrac already has problems enough with casting his spells, and then like taking another year and a half to turn around, and then the year and a half to lift his arms and then bring them down again. It's going to really slow down that dual lane. Of course, they could still get kills, but it'll just make it a little bit difficult. Queen of Pain in the mid lane is, I mean, she's always been a very stable melee hero. Not a stable melee hero, a stable mid lane hero. So that is no longer an option for Na'Vi. They could still What the hell is that? There's like some squeaking out my window or something. I have no idea what that is. But the Queen of Pain, Bane Elemental, not going to be out here. So we're going to see what other bans they want. I mean, if you look at Na'Vi's lineup, they do have a potential hard carry. Of course, they could go for a secondary carry as well. In the .74 days, you would see Naga Siren at this point somewhere in the game. But in .75, you know, maybe not so much. Na'Vi would still benefit quite a bit from that, I feel. They could make stuff happen with the Darkseer. Although you'd have to be a little bit more careful, like you'd have to vacuum right after the song ended because, well, that shit doesn't work anymore. Empire going to get that Clinks banned out from them, and Empire going to respond immediately by banning out Dendy's Pudge. This is a LAN event, so you don't have to deal with servers or delay or anything like that because everyone's on an equal playing field, and that really is when Dendy's Pudge is the most fearsome. So smart of Empire to do that, and Empire will be ban out that hard carry Clinks, another ranged hero, and he's really a carry hero who could be very safe, and then later on he could assassinate people like no other. Get that Orchid on him, and then if you're Leshrac or, well, I mean, Darkseer and CK are both fairly tanky, but if you're Leshrac then you're pretty much screwed. Navi going to ban out that Death Prophet. I'm going to plead 0.75 ignorance on this one, but she would offer Team Empire a solid lane, plus the pushing power. You gotta remember that Jakiro, his liquid fire has always been good. The thing that really kept him back, in my opinion, was that he was just really clunky. It was hard to get spells off with him, let alone get spells off to hit, but now that Ice Path has been buffed, it just sets everything up to have a much easier time. So that liquid fire was always very valuable, and it was a very good pushing tool, but they're not going to be able to capitalize on that with the Death Prophet for that turbo pushing power. Empire, they're going to ban out the Enigma, because they know that a jungle for Navi is the very easy way to lane this. Darkseer on the top lane, CK Leshrac bottom with a jungling Enigma, you know, dipping in whenever he feels like it, and then a solo mid lane. I mean, that's pretty much as standard gets, unchanged due to the new version, so I'm going to be a little more biased towards Team Empire just because they've been seeing heroes that I haven't seen in a long time and I haven't casted in an even longer time. But Navi, they need a mid hero or a support hero. Okay, so they're going to say screw the jungle, we're just going to get a Disruptor. Of course they could still do that dual lane, it's still a possibility, but Disruptor, a very, very powerful hero. It's good to see that he hasn't lost any speed moving into 0.75. I mean, as a support hero, he doesn't offer that much damage. Like, he's not going to be Leshrac style damage as a support hero, but what he does offer is huge utility. That Static Storm plus the Glimpse, really two of his most devastating spells. Team Empire don't really have any of those blinking or wave forming heroes yet, so Glimpse is going to be like not a super turbo counter to anything of those sorts, but still very effective there. And that Static Storm, I mean, it's pretty much just used as a Ricky Martin's Cloud, just silence everyone, and the damage is a plus on top of that, but rarely the damage, it's used for the damage rather than the silence, I'm sorry. If you could catch someone right before they want to cast something, like if Bat Rider blinks in or Force Stabs in, then gets immediately Static Stormed, well, then you could tear him down so easily. Empire, they're going to respond to this with a Chen pick, and Navi, they're going to go for a Lycan. Ooh. Post-nerf Lycan. I mean, he's still a very capable laner. He always has been. So I guess they could do that. If they lane him in the jungle, it's going to be a little bit difficult. I think Navi's going to run a 1-2-2 lineup with the top, mid, and bottom lane, respectively. I mean, unless they want to try their luck with the new Lycan in the jungle, I know it's possible, but I also know it's not really the strongest way to go with the Lycan anymore, just because the Wolves a little bit more expensive. Actually, you know, comparing to the Wolves' cost to his mana cost, they're a lot more expensive. Plus, they don't have as much health, which is always very troublesome. So Lycan himself is going to have to tank up a whole lot more. But hey, it's still an option, and that would probably mean a Leshrac solo lane or Disruptor solo lane or something like that. So Navi, they're going to go with the hero that, quite frankly, teams are definitely still picking him up occasionally because he offers a whole lot outside of the jungle. But it's not really as popular as the 0.74, and Team Empire, they're going to cap their lineup off with the Naga Siren, as I mentioned before. Get a lot of hard carry going. So Empire, they do have a solid 4-1 strategy. The ganking potential of the other four, these four right here, very, very powerful with Bat Rider in the mix. But as we jump ourselves into the game, we're going to go over who is playing what. We have Blow Your Brain on the Naga Siren. Jakiro is being played by Silence, showing off that fancy new Ice Path for us. Scandal's going to be playing the Windrunner Funnick on the Bat Rider, and that leaves Go Black on the Chen. On the Navi side, we have Dendy playing the Disruptor, Light of Heaven on the Darkseer, as per usual. Puppy on the Lycanthrope, again, as per usual. Arzart supporting his Leshrac and Havorst, as per usual, yet again on the CK, and Dendi on the Disruptor. Well, definitely not what I expected. Dendi usually does play that solo mid role for Na'Vi. Of course, they could choose to switch things up, but a solo mid Disruptor is actually pretty powerful because Disruptor scales very, very well with levels. Get more points of glimpse faster, get some Thunderstrike to do a little bit of damage, because Disruptor usually isn't the most damaging of support heroes, as I said before. But if you get those extra levels, then he could do quite a bit of damage. Everyone is going to spot each other on the bottom lane. Tar to fly out, and ooh, is there net? There's a 2-second stun onto Funnick. Is there any follow-up here? Ice Path is going to hit on R's Art, but Funnick is taking a ton of damage. Let Heaven trying to get close enough. There goes Funnick. Disruptor picking up the first blood there. Now Silent taking a lot of damage. Puppey just running with him with that Ion Shell on. The Jakiro is going to get punched down by the Darkseer as well. So that's first blood, plus another kill for Na'Vi. Empire kind of getting caught out of position there. The Ice Path only hit one, and really, I mean, Chen can't do anything in these fights. Naga Siren with the net can't do much either. And Bat Rider just got focused so that he couldn't do anything. He was forced to run. And then Scandal picked up a purely defensive move on top of that, whereas Na'Vi, they skilled purely offensively. You could see Lycan picking up a point of Howl. So you knew that the Wolves wouldn't be able to do as much damage. The flat 20 bonus damage to everyone. When you have a lot of range heroes, when you have like the Leshrac Disruptor, plus even the CK doing a couple of those right clicks, that Howl at damage, it really stacks up. So Na'Vi off to a roaring lead in this game. 2-1 lead, in fact. You see these dots up here. This is a 1-game advantage, but I do believe that is because of some winners bracket shenaniganry, like Empire's coming from losers, so they have to win that extra game back. So this is still, game 1, in case anyone is wondering about that. The bot lane is going to be Ars Art and Havorst versus Blair, Brain, and Silent. It's pretty even, actually. A CK Leshrac lane is very deadly, but then again, if you get shut down by the Ice Path, well, you're not going to be killing anything anytime soon. Puppey doing some pulling action. He needs that level 2. He needs something to tank, because, I mean, Lycanthrope, if he doesn't have the Wolves, what is he? Light of Heaven on the top lane versus Funnick is taking a lot of those tar charges. What he really needs right now is a fast magic stick or magic wand or anything, because he's taking a lot of damage. He does have the Surge. It's going to save him from a little bit of damage, but still, 5 stacks on there. The right clicks are going to hurt. And, of course, in the meantime, Leshrac dies to the combo of Silent as well as Havorst, but Light of Heaven, I mean, I was watching something very important, guys. Darkseer trying to flee for his life as the bot lane clashed, and Leshrac did take a fall. That was just a net into Riptide, plus an Ice Path on top of that, so nothing too exciting happening there. Of course, Godblack is jungling the enemy jungle. Puppey's going to have his space extremely, extremely limited in this game. He's going to have to fight off the Chen for creeps. And really, I mean, Puppey is in the easy camp the entire time. He's level 2 right now. Godblack hasn't been farming because he's been mostly wandering around looking for the correct creeps, so he's a little bit far behind, but Puppey with the stacks, now at the point of Wolves, should be able to clear that camp off. But the thing is, I mean, if he ventures out past, I'd say, this area, this Chen is going to be all over him. It's going to be very difficult for that Lycanthrope to actually outfight that Chen. Light of Heaven still taking a bunch of damage from Funnick. Light of Heaven still has not picked up a magic wand. I do feel like it would benefit him a whole lot more than having a soul ring. I mean, mana's great, but you know what? A magic wand gives you both mana and health, and looks like he says, screw that. I'm just going to keep going for the soul ring. So fair enough, but he could have 10 charges easy by now. That's a lot of effective HP. I do think that'll save him a lot more in the long run than the soul ring would. Forrest is pushed out pretty far. 4 for 5, those 2 assists really helping him in that early game as Ars Art is trying to do his best to find Godblack and just mess with him a little bit. 12 gold for Ars Art. He's so rich. But Havorst is going to run into this Chen. Let's see if he wants to fight it. It's going to be close. 3-second stun, though. Godblack's taking a ton of damage from this Howl. And then Troll Trap onto Ars Art, preventing him from landing that split earth off. Is going to mean Chen walks away. So good identification by Godblack, realizing that the only way he dies is if he gets chain stunned. And really preventing that from happening. Still in this top lane, Funnick going toe-to-toe with Light of Heaven again and again. Let's actually take a look at this mid lane where Scandal and Dendi have the exact same score, but the Disruptor, of course, with an extra kill and assist under his belt, is going to have a little bit of an advantage there, but it's not really going to mean all that much. Disruptor is going for, a little bit more Thunderstrike. Looks like he's completely skipping Kinetic Field for now. Usually you do see 1 point of Kinetic Field being picked up. But hey, when you have a mid lane all to yourself, oh no, Silent and Godblack looking for an Ice Path. Dual Breath can open up. Ice Path is going to miss. Havorst might live from this one. Troll Trap not there also. Ours are there for the support to pressure them back. And Vorse does manage to live from that one. Good juking from him. Unfortunately, Silent unable to land that path. Puppey is coming around, but a level 3 Lycanthrope isn't going to be anything compared to the heroes that are on the other side right now. If he gets a little bit out of position, he could take a net. He could take a net. There's the ice path, but Vorse is coming around for a 3-second stun on Goldblack. Huge hit on him. Split Earth to follow, and Blow Your Brain also stunned as well. Puppey looks like he's torn between Blow Your Brain as well as Silent, but looks like they're going to focus on the Jakiro. Only 2 armor on this person, and he's going to take a ton of damage right now. Net onto Vorse, slowing him down. Ice path hitting onto all 3 as Silent tries to make his way out here. Vorse is going to go down to one more Riptide. Now Puppey as well in a little bit of danger. Blow Your Brain getting himself a double kill. Silent, does he have any mana? No, he does not have any mana, so he can't follow up anymore from this. But Empire picking up 2 for free. In the meantime, the mid lane, I guess Dendy just stomped him with Thunderstrike plus a double damage rune. So the Windrunner dropping a kill there, and really, I mean, Windrunner will help you a little bit, but against this heavy burst damage coming from Thunderstrike, which if you get it this early, it does do quite a bit of damage. It's going to still punish this Windrunner a whole lot for being below 700 HP, where Disruptor actually has more HP than that. Who would have thought that some old guy riding a Raptor would be more healthy than an Archer? Light of Heaven has pushed out this top lane quite a bit. Forced Funnick to go all the way back to the base. Light of Heaven does have a slight creep kill advantage, and Batrider, of course, has died in that bottom lane level 1 fight. So Light of Heaven continuing to hold down the top lane as we take a look at the gold grab, completely even. It's pretty much from farm, like purely because of farm experience, looking the same way as well. Puppey's actually, I mean, he's having a pretty crappy time on this jungle, I'm not going to lie. I mean, 240, that HP nerf on the Wolves has just been absolutely hard on the Lycanthrope to get anything happen. As we now see Goldblack and Silent, they're heading towards the mid lane where Dendy is at less than half HP. If any of these spells land, this Jakiro has got to land this Ice Path. Dendy's on the run. He doesn't have any kinetic field. So if he gets spotted out, he could very easily go down to this. We do have Light of Heaven around, so he could support Dendy playing some games with Silent. Looks like Silent doesn't want to risk missing any of his spells. But Dendy's completely zoned out from the lane. Just gonna Thunderstrike Goldblack. Do a little bit of damage there. Ice Path missing. Dendy continuing to just taunt Team Empire. And ultimately he does live from that. He did have 13 stick charges, and that's quite a bit of health and mana. He could actually pop them off right now and get a lot from those. There are 3 on Empire. You can see Scandal. He saw his arm. He was looking for a shackle, and there's the failed shackle. So he was looking for it. Unfortunately, didn't find it. Ice Path to Fly, also not going to hit on anything. But you know what? That's a really cheap spell. 75 mana only. The cooldown's not bad either, so you could just keep spitting those things out. Of course, that right head of his is going to get pretty tired from that, but I mean, if you're employed to fight for a living, you're probably going to be used to that. Unless that, oh, Light of Heaven going to take a lasso on the top lane. He already did use a surge, and he's slowed down with 4 stacks of that Napalm. Funnick is going to get a free kill on this Darkseer. Batrider, those buffs. Arzart, ooh, looking for Split Earth, is not going to hit onto Scandal. He hit the Centaur Khan instead, who's going to stomp Puppey. Puppey's taking a little bit of damage. The Centaur does go down, but a double shackle shot. Puppey is going to take a power shot. No, the power shot not there. Test of Faith is there, though. Static Storm going to be laid down. Goldblack does get the last hit onto the Lycanthrope, but he does trade his life in exchange. Power shot going to fly. Not hit onto the Leshrac, and Scandal does manage to walk away. But Na'Vi losing their Lycan in exchange for the Chen. I mean, Lycan at this point isn't very valuable, but you really do want this Lycan to get farmed, because even though Lycan has a little bit more of a rough time in the early, oh, Vorse in the bot lane, trying to teleport himself out of there. Is there any disable? No, there's not, unless CK is going to live. As I was saying, even though Lycanthrope is a little bit weaker in the early game, his mid and late game, I mean, they're still pretty darn effective. That is, if you could get the farm that you otherwise would have gotten from the early game. And dying doesn't exactly help that, and he has already died twice, so Puppey is not going to be the hugest factor in this game. He's just not scary anymore. This Lycan in the early stages of the game is no longer a real threat compared to the old .74 days. This top lane, Light of Heaven, thank you. Finally picked up a magic stick. Gonna get fed a little bit of HP and mana from this Batrider. But the Batrider level 8. What is Light of Heaven's level? Level 8 as well. I do believe the Batrider is slightly ahead. No, he's actually behind as far as creep kills go. But hey, if you get a solo kill on the enemy, then it doesn't really matter. Those creep kills could widen the gap a little bit. Reality Rift onto Funnick. There's a 2-second stun. Not the longest stun, but there's 2 ion shells might be enough. Vacuuming back Funnick into the trees, and he's going to try to save himself with the Flame Break. But Darkseer does pick up a kill there. In the meantime, the mid lane is Scandal very low HP, just harassing everyone back with those power shots. Disruptor is laying down some pretty heavy fire though with that maxed out Thunderstrike. You rarely see that procured this early into the game unless it is a solo mid or a solo lane Disruptor. And hey, he loves it so much that he's actually going to cast it on random range creeps. Puppy lucking out a little bit, finding the only camp that he's actually capable of killing with these wolves. Those satyrs are so nice to the lycanthrope. Really, they're nice to everyone because they're just so easy to kill. Flurrybrain continuing to farm up, 52 for 11, 201 on him versus the CK. 014, 19 for 9 actually, so the CK, not as much farm as I would have expected, really. Forrest has transitioned up to this top lane. He's going to be up against Funnick now. Does he have a magic stick? Yes, he does. So that's going to fill up extraordinarily quickly. Light of Heaven, he's still around here as well. Maxed out Ion Shell. He could make something happen if he gets Ion Shells on both him as well as the CK, but it looks like Go Black is going to be the target. Dendy and Arzart looking for him, but I don't think they're going to find him. Instead, going to find his creeps, and Light of Heaven is going to play with them just a little bit with that Ion Shell. Funnick has popped off that Firefly. He's scouting out. Is he going to use the lasso on Light of Heaven? There's the lasso. He's going to pull him up to the high ground. Oh no, you bastard. Light of Heaven stuck on the high ground with Funnick, and the fire is going to burn him down a little bit. Power shot to fly. Light of Heaven is trying to survive from this, but one more fire tick is going to bring him down. Batrider does pick up Dark Seer, and then a flame break onto Arzart, pushing him back. Shackle shot not going to latch onto anything. Power shot going to miss as well, but Arzart is slowed to a crawl. He's probably going to die as well. Magic Stick charge is going to keep him alive for one more shot, but it doesn't matter. Static Storm Kinetic Field onto Silent. Is there a Thunderstrike? No, there is not. Silent is probably going to live from this. Ice Path once again going to miss. As Dendy does walk back into it just for a little bit. Oh, Flame Break. That was a really low level Flame Break. It's like it's only level 1. It's not the largest nuke there. It's mostly just at this point a positioning tool. But Empire taking the kills where it matters. The gold was going into Navi's favor until those kills happened, and well, Empire, they're keeping this game as even as possible, which is great for me because nobody likes to watch stomps, let alone cast them, right? Really, I feel like Forrest, he needs more. 26-11 at this stage in the game with 11 minutes on the clock. That is not much at all. Naga Siren is continuing to become a larger and larger problem because, well, Navi, they're not dealing with it. They haven't gone for the Naga Siren a single time. Glimpse back on the Gallback into a kinetic field, is going to latch Split Earth, plus 2 second stun, is going to get him a lightning strike to the face. Silent getting reality rooted back. The medallion onto Puppy is going to kill Silent. Pops off his ultimate from that and doesn't even get a single hit. Flurrybrain is around, but he does not have that ultimate, so he could be a little bit in trouble. Kinetic Field going to wall off someone, and Arzart is on the run. Shockwaves to fly out, and Flurrybrain is going to pop the illusion and go straight for Forrest, who's going to teleport out of there. Flame Break going to cancel that, however, Forrest now has to run away. Flurrybrain doesn't have anything for quite a little bit. Split Earth is going to completely miss, as Flurrybrain can now choose to go for Arzart. One hit and then a Riptide is going to bring him down. In the meantime, Dendy running away from Scandal as well as Funnick. He does go down to that Windrunner, picking up that kill, and the Arzart Leshrac also falls. Empire finding continuous picks onto Na'Vi. I mean, the score is even, but you gotta remember that Naga Siren has been farming this entire time. She is completely stacked on gold, whereas the CK is sitting right in the middle of the pack as far as the gold is concerned. And the Naga Siren, she's even gonna capitalize that. She got lots of free farm in the early game. Just go for damage. Why not? Funnick gonna pop off that Firefly, but doesn't have a Blink Dagger, doesn't have a Force Staff, so he can't actually lasso anyone in or get in to lasso anyone out.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
So they're just going to pick off that mid tower completely for free. That is, I believe, the first tower to fall. Yes, it is. So Empire taking down the first tower. Na'Vi, they're still keeping relatively equal in these fights. The thing is, I mean, the kills are going on to Dendy, which, I mean, it's great when you get kills. It's all fun and games and everything, but Disruptor with kills isn't that useful compared to Team Empire, where Naga Siren has 3 kills. The kills are actually being distributed fairly evenly, but more emphasis on the Naga Siren compared to the CK, who has 0 kills, Lycan, who has 0 kills. I mean, they have a lot of assists, but you really want those kills to get those big items up, and CK and Lycan, well, they don't have many big items up at all. You see Lycan going for the very economical build of that medallion. It is very standard as well, but usually you would want a little bit more out of your Lycanthrope at this point in the game. I'm not sure if the Lycan was a correct choice for this because he just had such a slow start in the jungle. Of course, if he does get a little bit of free time, he could easily recover. Light of Heaven is hiding in the trees, Silent, waiting to land that Ice Path as Blurrybrain pushes up the lane. They do also have support from Funnick. Batrider moving on in here. Light of Heaven, if he reveals himself, he's going to die. There's the blink in from Funnick. Gonna lasso Light of Heaven right on out of his hiding spot. Dual Breath And Ice Path, not even needed, as the fire does burn down that Dark Seer. They're going to take down the bot tower as well, destroyed by the Dire. Meantime, Na'Vi, they're trying to make a trade with this mid lane, but power shots going to fly, and Chen's creeps also stalling up Na'Vi. This tower is going to get a little bit more of a chance to live. Shackle Shot trying to latch Lycan throw up to his wolves, not going to happen. But Empire, they are still holding on tight to all of their tier 1 towers, whereas they've taken down so far 2 of Na'Vi's towers. Vorst might be the target, as we see Empire moving up there. They don't have a lasso, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to bring down the CK. Very, very tanky. Power Treads Bracer and a lot of armor on top of that. Although if Dendi shows his face, I'm sure they would rather go for the Disruptor, but it looks like, Scandal and Silence still in this mid lane. They're going to be moving up there. Everyone is up here. They know at least 2 people are up here, so why not go to where the party is and see if they could crash it. I feel like if Na'Vi stick around for this, they're not going to have a good fight, because well, usually 3v5s aren't good to fight. Naga Siren does finally have her ultimate up, but oops, sorry, I knocked the mic there. There we go. Batrider, I feel, is going to be the main initiator. So Blow Your Brain's ultimate, not necessarily needed to set up any team fight. Probably is going to be used once or twice for that, but honestly, it's going to be the Batrider. Just going to blink in, get the core hero out, whether that's the Disruptor with, who's had a lot of farm, or even the Leshrac to deny that the spells coming out from him, but most likely it is going to be the Disruptor. There's the Firefly going to blink in for Arzart. There's a Flame Break going to knock him away, though. Teleportation coming in. There's going to be Light of Heaven. He actually cancels it as the Ice Path does fly out. Would have hit that Dark Seer if he teleported in. But this tower looks like it's going to go down. The tour of the tier 1s is going to be completed for Empire. And Na'Vi, they have yet to start theirs. The mid lane, 460 HP, so it's not exactly the tankiest. Oh, Godblack going to get Reality Rifted back into the kinetic field. 4-second stun on top of that. He's going to go down. And all the creeps, I feel, are going to be taken down as well. Troll Warlord, last one to live. Oh, he tried so hard. But unfortunately, he does go down. And Na'Vi, they want this tower so badly. But where are they going? They're going down to the bot lane, where instead they're going to go for the bot tier 1 tower.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dire's bottom tower is, in fact, under attack. It's getting a little bit of damage. Vorst Dendi plus Puppy heading down towards there. Arzart looking towards the mid lane to get a little bit of farm, but he's got to watch out because this Batrider could kill this Leshrac solo, especially if Leshrac goes this far out. Teleportation coming in. It is going to be Dendi, which is going to force Funnick back. No, Funnick just completely baited that out. He's still flying, so he has more vision. There's the blink in for that lasso. Yeah, Arzart is as good as dead. In the meantime, Naga Siren in the bot lane is taking out the Naga Siren got taken out by Dendi, and actually, and Windrunner also caught in the middle of a lot of Na'Vi heroes. Those ion shells blending up that Windrunner into a smoothie. Not really good if your name is Windrunner. But Na'Vi have taken down one tower, looking for another. They're probably going to make this a trade. Actually, I don't think Jakiro has enough damage with Batrider to take that down. But Na'Vi, Puppy, Lycanthrope did get nerfed, but that's mostly his durability that got nerfed. His damage is still the same. He's going to use that Howl, and he's now heading on his way towards that Vlad's. They could try to look for Roshan, but with a Batrider, with a Naga Siren, it's going to be very, very difficult to actually do that. Flame Break going to fly. Not going to hit anything except for wolves, which is okay because they have more magic resistance now. Tanky wolves, at least magic spells. I should take another look at this gold graph. It should be in favor of Empire. Not really. It kind of is, but with a couple more towers, actually 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Empire, they're 1 tower ahead, but their farm not really going for them. Even Na'Vi holding on to the experience advantage. So I'm talking down Na'Vi a whole lot, but they're getting a whole lot of effective farm. But that the graph could say whatever it wants to say. The fact of the matter is that Naga Siren is the one who's getting a lot of the last hits. So much gold per minute on her. And the Chen as well as the Jakiro, Twin-Headed Dragon, they're not getting much for their team, but I'd gladly sacrifice some farm on a Chen and a Jakiro to get farm on a Naga Siren, who's going to already have a Diffusal Blade at this point, plus a whole lot of earlier items as well. So the farm distribution for Empire is definitely there, even though the gold graph may not say that the team's gold is there. Funnick is invisible. He's looking for someone to pull out. Who's it going to be? I do feel like Dendi is the most important target to kill with that level 2 Static Storm. No, it's actually going to be Arzart, who ran straight into that Batrider. Now they're in a pile of Ancients. And Batrider does pick off that Leshrac for free. Meantime, this bot lane, someone get glimpsed back. No, Blow Your Brain popped his ultimate just to run away. He's still doing a lot of damage to Puppey. Oh my god, that damage. Lycanthrope is getting harassed by illusions. Never what you want to have happen. That Diffusal Blade doing work on Lycanthrope's very tiny mana pool, and really, I mean, he only needs 245 mana, but he has 364 mana total. A couple hits from that Diffusal Blade, I mean, he can't cast Wolves, he can't cast the Shapeshift. That is, if you catch him before he actually has casted those spells, which is pretty unlikely. But Empire, they do pick up a free kill on this Leshrac once again, who hasn't been having the best time. And really, what could you do when this Batrider has a Blink Dagger? Shackle going to latch onto Horse with the creep. He's taking a little bit of damage. The wall of Epica going to get laid down, only pulling in the creeps though. Oh, Godblack, you are way out of position. 3-second stun onto him, popping off the mech, trying to make himself survive. Silent going to lay down that Macro Pyre, but everyone's just going to run straight out of that as Silent throws away his life for that one spell. Dendy moving forward, going to get a glimpse back onto Scandal. There's the Static Storm preventing the lasso from Batrider. He's got to fall back. He's going to go up the cliff. He should be fine, but Blow Your Brain's still alive. Funnick's still alive. Trying to do as much damage as they can. Puppey putting out a lot of damage on that Naga Siren. He does go down. There goes the Funnick getting a kill on the CK as well as he's trying to hide onto this cliff and do a little bit more damage with the fire damage plus the napalm. He's going to blink forward light of heaven. One more right click is going to get him a kill. Triple kill on him, and now Puppey is on the run. He's got to be careful. That flame break is going to push him away, but he's still 3 stacks of that napalm. His teleportation support is coming in. That's going to be silent on the Jakiro, but Puppey, I don't even think, yeah, it's not even necessary. Funnick gets himself an ultra kill versus Na'Vi. And what looked like a very good fight for Na'Vi just got really, really ugly. Static Storm was beautifully placed. I mean, it silenced both the Windrunner and the Batrider, forced the Batrider to fall back instead of lassoing someone back. But then, I mean, Sticky Napalm does a lot of damage if you let it to be stacked up, and everyone from Na'Vi at that certain point just got kited, and they couldn't do anything about it. It was just impossible to move, impossible to turn around even. Dendy is smoked up, a personal smoke. They know that Empire is in the Roshan pit. You do have a ward spotting everything out. But the question is, will it be in time? There's the Firefly from Batrider. Who's he going to go for? Dendy? No, he's going to do nothing. Gotta keep an eye on this hero, but he's might get caught out of position. There's the lasso onto Dendy. Going to pull him a little bit towards his team. Ice Path to follow, and Dendy's going to get annihilated as Funnick picks up a godlike streak. Disruptor instant buyback into the game. But could he teleport in? No, he doesn't have a teleport. 30 seconds till that. There's the wall of Replica on Silent. He's taking heavy damage. Hand of God popping off, trying to save him, but he's already down. There's a flame break, trying to spread out Na'Vi as the Light of Heaven does get shackled to something, a creep, I think. There's this Reality Rift back onto Blow Your Brain. He can pop up his own illusions, try to run out of here, but a 2-second stun to follow. The Naga Siren is going to go down. Funnick taking a split earth as well, going to get force-staffed out, shackling Puppey to a tree as Scandal makes his way out. Funnick is going to pop his Firefly, try to juke around this cliff, because it's really hard to chase. There's a Reality Rift pulling him back, plus a 3-second stun, vacuum back, and this Batrider does lose his godlike streak to Havorst. Na'Vi taking 3 kills. Is there going to be any more? It looks like they're instead going to go for that Roshan. Lycanthrope with the Vlads. Pretty good against Roshan. Power Shot going to fly, spot everyone out, but I mean, there's still 3 up for Empire. There's the Static Storm onto Silent, but he completely missed with that Kinetic Field. Just instead going to send Jakiro back to the base, burning that 135 gold for the teleportation as Havorst has picked up that Aegis of the Immortal. So Na'Vi, well, tapping the tower once, also picking up a tower, plus the Aegis of the Immortal. But still, the kills are 18 to 17. Look at this advantage. I mean, a little bit in favor of Na'Vi for the experience, but really that's not that much at all. Empire still very much in it, and Na'Vi, I mean, they're trying to push their advantage with on the top of that kill. They know the Batrider is still dead, but they are very, very low on mana. Some of them kind of banged up as well, so they're not really going to look to go into a 4v5 fight, a 5v4 fight, because they know that. I mean, Jakiro could still do a lot of damage. Macropyre, I mean, level 1 Macropyre was never the most spectacular skill, but later on, if you combine that with Ice Path, yes, it does a ton of damage, especially if Na'Vi don't realize that there's a Macropyre there. Like, sometimes in the heat of the battle, it's kind of easy to just slip up and realize that, hey, wait, I'm sitting in a Macropyre. I should probably move, but I can't move because there's a Batrider on my ass with 5 stacks of Sticky Napalm. So what do you do then? Well, I'll tell you what to do. You do nothing. You die, because fire damage, there's too much of it on Empire. What if a fire-based team would actually be viable? I don't think so. You need Actually, it probably would be decent. Fast forward through this a little bit just to get rid of that pause, because everyone hates pauses, and hell, I'm casting from a replay, so I don't have to sit through there. We are now back into this game after that little break. Hope you went to the bathroom, got some popcorn during that 20-second intermission. And if you didn't, well then, well, I don't know, I guess tough luck. Na'Vi, they have still one more tier 1 tower to take. It's very weak as well. Tier 2s from them looking pretty healthy all in all. Empire, they're in a pretty similar situation. So the towers are pretty even, the kills are pretty even, the farm is pretty even as well. So as both teams continue to farm up, I don't know who this is going to favor. Probably Na'Vi, as they do have Lycanthrope and CK going to amplify with that farm, whereas Empire, I mean, they have the Naga Siren, great, but Batrider isn't really a hero that scales all that well into the late game. Like, at a certain point, he's just a slowing machine, he's just a utility hero. And his damage isn't really noticeable anymore, or isn't as noticeable. Of course, that point happens extraordinarily late into the game. And then, like, I'm sure Windrunner will pick up the slack with some damage or something like that. CK does have a BKB up now. Puppy, he's going to go for that Necrobook build. Get that mana burn and get, of course, more auras for his team. Make him a little bit tanky, and more importantly, though, I think the most important, going to get himself more mana. Because that mana is a pretty big issue for this Lycanthrope in the new version. Not saying BKB is bad or anything. I mean, BKB has always been and will always be a good item for Lycan, because when you turn into a wolf, you don't want to get chain stunned. Na'Vi pushing out the top lane. Is Light of Heaven going to run to the entire Empire team? He's going to farm some neutrals. This could be extremely risky, especially if he gets caught by a net. Have they spotted him out? They have spotted him out. Are they going to go for it, though? There's the net onto Light of Heaven. Scandal going to force staff himself in for that shackle. Ice Path to land as well. Light of Heaven just gets nuked down. Denny going to lay down that kinetic field. But a Reality Rift onto Silent. He's going to take a 4-second stun. This Jakiro is so dead. There he goes. Static Storm being laid down purely defensively as Bloody Brain gets glimpsed back. There's the Firefly for Funnick. He wants to go for Havorst on the lasso. He's going to lay down fire everywhere, but there's the lasso, but a BKB popping off, saving him a lot of damage. Double shackle onto Arzar and Deddy, holding him out of the fight, and Go Black's trying to do as much damage as he can with the nukes. Empire Bloody Brain does take out one. He's going to go for the other. Dendy trying to get out of here. Is there a disruption to cancel that teleport? No, there is not. Puppy is going to be the last one to die, or maybe it's going to be Havorst. Puppy does die, and now Havorst on the run. Scandal uses Wind Run, force staff himself forward as well, trying to do a little bit of body blocking action, but Funnick blinking forward with the napalm stacks is going to bring down Havorst. He's going to go out in a blaze of glory, try to take down Scandal. Not going to happen. There goes the Aegis. They do still have a net. They do still have a lot of mana on this Batrider, and I don't think Havorst is going to live. There's the shackle shot. Scandal's got to be a little bit careful, because a Reality Rift in one hit could kill him. It looks like instead they're just going to bring down that CK. Very bloody fight, but still, the kills stand at 20 to 21. So much fighting action going on here. Keep in mind for Empire, I mean, Jakiro got nailed in that fight before he could get anything. A 4-second stun open up, plus a Phantasm, and you're not going to be in for a fun time. But I guess on the opposite side of the token, Dendy didn't get a good Static Storm off. I mean, he was touching back, he was forced to use it so that Naga Siren wouldn't kill him. So both the team fights, a little bit messy for Na'Vi. I mean, there's like one team fight happening here, there's one over here, a couple over here. So in that sort of team fight, you can't really get your big ultimates to land. And I don't even think Darkseer used his... Yeah, Darkseer got picked off right off the bat. So he couldn't use his anything, really. No mech, and in the future, no pipe if that happens again. But the most important is no Wall of Replica. If you clone the Naga Siren, that illusion's going to do a lot of work for you. Naga Siren, she's all about building up her illusions. Unfortunately, Puppy on the tail end of that smoke didn't get caught by it. Looks like he's instead going to be bait. I feel like Empire, they're smarter than that, though. Funnick on the bot lane is going to bring down this tier 2 tower. No one's teleporting in for this. But Na'Vi, they're on the hunt. Are they going to find? They're not going to find anyone unless they go to their own jungle. But they spot out Puppy, and I do think Na'Vi, they're going to break smoke here, or at least try to force a bait with Puppy. And it's not going to work. I don't think it's going to work. The bottom lane tower has gone down. Mid lane is also taking a little bit of damage for Na'Vi. And there's... Oh no, Wilkin, you're in the wrong place, man. Reality Rift even. That Wilkin is so dead. And with Arcane Boots, hey, why not? why not use all your spells to kill off one creep for Chen? Because, well, that's one less creep he's going to have, unless he just picks up a Furbog or Ursa Warrior. So he does still have a pretty sizable army, a pretty well-rounded army as well. Some damage, lots of lockdown from him, so he's going to be in prime condition for this fight as Na'Vi pushed down the tier 2 tower. Level 3 Edict now picked up by Arzart, but Horse has got to be careful. There's a net onto him, but I don't think they're going to engage onto a net. They need something a little bit more concrete as Naga Siren, she's still in the mid lane. She's pushing down the tower. She has been brought back into this. No, those were her illusions, actually. Okay, fair enough. Funnick can send out a Flame Break. Not going to go on that one either. Just got to watch out for Funnick. Wolves scouting out, looking for anyone they could find. They do see Havorst. Or Empire should see Havorst. Batrider, he just wants a good opportunity to blink in. Smoke halfway done as Puppy gets a little bit closer to this Batrider. Silent does unleash his Ice Path. That cooldown not that long. And now here we go. Empire, they're going to go on the aggressive with the creeps leading the charge as they fall back. Just going to send some illusions in. Burn a little bit of mana. Kill the wolves, of course. Mana being burnt on the CK. Spells flying everywhere. But no fight quite yet. Funnick is going to lead this charge. The Batrider needs to get a good lasso and needs to force tap himself out and actually use that lasso to pull someone out. If he can get Dendi once again, that's going to be absolutely huge. But it looks like Dendi, I mean, he's really aware of the fact that that Team Empire wants him dead. He's going to play very, very far back. Looks like it's going to be a little bit of a standoff here. Creeps on the front line getting whittled down by these wolves until the wolves get killed down by Scandal and Funnick. Just a little bit of a standoff here. It's all going to depend on the initiation from Funnick. That is going to be what makes or breaks this gank. Or, I mean, if the Disruptor could get a glimpse or a kinetic field or something like that. But really, the ball is in Empire's court to make the initiation because Na'Vi, they can't really initiate at all. They gotta just wait until the Batrider goes in and then try to act upon that. Otherwise, what could they do? They could try to get a glimpse, but that's going to be really hard to time. They could try to get a vacuum, which could work, but Empire, I mean, their anti-clumping is pretty good. They're all over the place. It's impossible to get a good vacuum initiation with that. Na'Vi, they're not letting up. They're just constantly putting pressure to this top lane. They're kind of like splitting the jungle farm. So I do think this is just going to be an even match for now until initiation happens. Flame Break's going to fly. Illusion's going to Riptide. And Na'Vi, they're going to fall back. Who's it going to be, Funnick? Who's it going to be? He now has a BKB up. So whoever he captures is going to go for a ride. Nothing that his friendly team can do about it. This Batrider, he's going to be the one to watch, as I said before. Na'Vi, they're just dealing with illusions, they're dealing with Riptides. That one unfortunately not hitting. Naga Siren's running low on mana, but the Arcane Boots, so many of them, should be able to keep that illusions going, and Puppy, quite a decent amount of mana as well. Vlad's offering really helping this push out, keeping everyone healthy and also giving them quite a little bit of mana. Flame Break gonna fly. Is this the initiation? No, of course not. Why would you initiate now? Creeps on the front line. It could be Arzart. If he gets netted, oh yes, Arzart's going to be a huge amount of trouble. Split Earth going to fly net onto Arzart as Funnick pops off his BKB. Going to go straight for Light of Heaven, actually. Going to bring him back into somewhere. He's not actually moving with him, but one has already fallen silent in exchange for Arzart as Blow Your Brain is trying to go toe-to-toe with Puppy. The one who to die is going to be Dendi as Force. In reality Rift, Blow Your Brain. There he goes. And now Funnick is on the run. One more hit. He's going to live from this. Flame Break is going to not be enough as Batrider does go down. Blow Your Brain, gonna get wailed upon by Havorst, who has that BKB active. And now 3 from Na'Vi, they could be in a little trouble. They're gonna go straight for Blow Your Brain, but he's doing so much damage to Puppy. Puppy drops in an instant. Light of Heaven shackled to a tree, taking that focus fire as well. He's gonna go down. The last one is Havorst trying to teleport out of this. He is going to make it out. And Empire, they take a little bit of advantage in that fight. Let's see how many buybacks were used actually. Timer. Naga Siren bought back, and that's it actually. Only one buyback. That's actually kind of surprising. But Empire extending their lead by 2 kills only. All of that for a pretty bloody fight. But no team actually got what I would say a really large upper hand in that fight. I mean, it was pretty much even. As now we push the 33-minute mark. Jakiro wants these creeps dead. She's Too bad he missed his macro fire. That's okay, Silent. No one saw that. No one saw that. Blurry Brain farming the enemy jungle very aggressively. Gets caught out by Havorse and Arzart. They could very well take her down, but it looks like it's going to be Roshan who's going to be the one to fall, as all of Empire converge upon him. Do they have enough damage to take him out? Scandal does have that focus fire on. Gonna go for that sheep stick. If she can get a hex onto Puppy or Havorse, it's gonna be absolutely devastating. Roshan is slowly getting dropped down. Penitent's helping out as well. And he is going to fall. Blurry Brain is going to pick up that Aegis, get a double life onto her. And I mean, she doesn't have a buyback, so it's going to be very useful. Roshan does go down. The Aegis hopping up and down. Excited to be picked up. Disruptor. Oh no, don't net that. Yeah, Disruptor, a little bit too smart for that. Glimpse back. Funnick actually glimpsed out is Funnick. So the glimpse used a little bit of a mess up there. It's going to be one less glimpse if the fight happens in 20 seconds, but I don't think a fight will actually happen there. Do they think that that's real? I don't think they should. They're just going to get the double damage rune. Okay, fair enough. Double damage is very, very important at this stage of the game. It's pretty much like Blurry Brain picking up illusion rune. It's pretty good. It's pretty darn good. Everyone from Empire minus Goblack is going to move towards the bot lane. Goblack seems to be perfectly happy doing his own thing. He's picked up a Vlad's of his own, trying to counter off the Vlad's from Puppy. But Na'Vi, they're going to get more of mileage out of this Vlad's simply because CK could benefit a lot from lifesteal, as does Lycanthrope. And I mean, for Empire, no one's really going to benefit from that lifesteal at all, except for the Chen creeps, and that's not really why you have Chen creeps. But still, the lanes are going to be equalized as far as that aura goes. Na'Vi, they're grouping up like they kind of want to smoke. They don't have smoke, so that could be a little bit difficult. Instead, Wolves to the front lines, Ion Shell plus invisibility make perfect scouts. They're going to find Goblack. Oh, they're going the wrong way, though. They're going the wrong way. There's the change of direction, but I think it might be too late. Yeah, they're going to take a little bit of Ion Shell damage. They know what's up. And now I think Na'Vi, I mean, they could try to go for this, but I don't think it'll work. But this team has been like, wait, and then team fight. Wait, and then team fight. Wait, and then team fight. And all the while, I mean, Nagasiren has taken a couple deaths, 4 on her, but 3 deaths on Havorse, 5 onto the Lycanthrope, and assists or no assists. I mean, those kills are going to stack up against them. EXP per minute is being led by the Batrider and the Nagasiren. Gold per minute, they actually switch places, but Nagasiren still has a ton of gold for Empire. Heart of Tarrasque, Manta Style, plus a Diffusal Blade. This Nagasiren is absolutely fearsome. And she could pretty much 1v2 anyone, I feel. Maybe even 1v3 them if her illusions somehow survive. But yeah, this Nagasiren is pretty darn scary, and that's exactly what I was talking about in the earlier stage of this game. Is that this Nagasiren, I mean, the gold graph might have been normal back then, but all the gold is going on to Nagasiren, and that's exactly who you want to have gold on. Whereas Na'Vi, I mean, they had a lot of experience going to the Disruptor, and I mean, Dundee, he did pretty good work with those spell casts of his. Doing some early game damage with Thunderstrike, and glimpsing back to Kuro a couple times, stuff like that. But really, Disruptor doesn't amplify all that well into the late game, especially not on the same scale as Nagasiren, because Nagasiren just tore down a tower without a second thought. They're going to keep going. An army of Nagasiren illusions will do a ton of damage to this tower. Double damage on Scandal as well. Na'Vi slowly walking back from this. Dendi doesn't have a teleportation spell, so he's going to walk back. There's the Firefly on Funnick. Who's he going to go for? It's going to be Dendi. It's going to be no one. Still waiting. Still waiting, and I think Empire, they're going to wait until the next Firefly to go in. Tower's still taking a lot of damage from these illusions, plus the focus fire. There's a Reality Rift on Scandal. Static Storm being used to no effect. Force going to get dragged out right into a pile of Empire teams. There's the Ice Path to land on pretty much everyone. Blurry Brain is going to sit here and right-click everyone. There goes the Jakiro, the first one to fall, and Force is trying to do as much as he can. Go Black on the run. 4-second stun onto him. Force on his ass, and here's Puppy as well doing as much damage as he could. There goes the Chen as well. Empire down 2, but they're still very much alive. Blurry Brain standing his ground. Havorse is going to make his way out of here. Net is going to try to slow him down. He pops off the BKB. He gets glimpsed back to Blurry Brain, but it doesn't matter. Havorse is already dead. Nagasiren, Light of Heaven, going to try to run away from the shackle. Not going to lash, but Nagasiren is still alive. Going to purge down that Darkseer. There goes him. Havorse does buy back into this game, though, and Empire, it's 3 versus 4. I think they have to fall back. Yes, they do. Na'Vi, I mean, Havorse on the front lines with the BKB with all those Phantasm illusions. And Empire, they were struggling to actually clear those off. Nog Siren upgrading her Diffusal Blade. Yes, that was an upgrade, not a rebuy. I don't know why you would rebuy. That's just silly. But Navi, I mean, they just had a ton of chasing power. They're all over Empire, just chasing him down with those reality rifts. And Empire, I mean, they kind of need space to fight. The Jakiro would like to keep his distance to get another spell cast off, or like wait for Liquid Fire to come back off cooldown or something like that. And if you get right in Batrider's face and take him down before he could actually make good of his net, even though he dragged Divorce in, but Divorce had a BKB to pop off right after, plus the Phantasm. So I mean, he was in a pile of Empire heroes, but he didn't really care. Just popped off his spells and then went to town. But still, it's a 2-kill advantage in favor of Empire. I don't know how these fights are coming out in such a way that Empire and Navi, I mean, have this constant state of non-advantage. But that's how it's happening, and I can't explain it. It's unexplainable, really. It's unexplainable. They're just taking such even fights. But I do feel like, once again, Empire, they're slowly getting further and further ahead. They do still have 2 tier 2 towers, and they're taking down a tier 3. So the gold earned is going to be in their favor, experience slightly in their favor as well. But really at this point, with the heroes that are on the map, it's not going to be the experience in gold that tells the difference. Like if Navi, they would love to have more gold, but it's really the positioning and initiation that is going to be coming out from Empire. I mean, Navi, they have the Vacuum, Static Storm, plus the Wall of Replica. If all of that drops down well, then Empire is going to get cleaned up. If Empire get a good net onto someone and like bring down the Disruptor or something, bring down Light of Heaven before they could actually get those big spells off, well then Navi are going to be the ones to fall. So it's going to be all about positioning, all about hero targeting, focus, stuff like that. But Empire, they do know that they have a little bit of an advantage. Naga Siren with a Talisman of Evasion can save herself a lot of damage from the Lycan plus the CK. And with the bunch of illusions, Windrunner illusions even, from an illusion rune, going to the front lines, they're going to try to look for these melee racks, as Navi are here to defend, but they got to be careful. Tornado is going to fly, and Navi, they're looking for initiation here. Thunderstrike gun, oh, Havor's going to get netted from Funnick, going to force himself back up to the high ground. Havor's gets hexed as well, and Blow Your Brain gonna unleash his ultimate just for a second. The Horse gonna pop out the Phantasm. Silent once again is gonna be the first one to fall. Funnick is gonna look for a target to go for. He's just gonna try to go for anyone he could find. Blow Your Brain is taking a ton of damage from Navi as they're on the chase for Naga Siren, who is going to make it out alive, but Navi, they're still very healthy. Funnick at this point not doing enough damage, and 3 die for Empire, where 0 have died. Scandal trapped in a kinetic field, gonna take a 2-second stun, plus a split earth as well. Windrun gonna save himself a little bit of damage, but oh my god, that crit from Force. Empire losing 4. Only the Naga Siren making it out alive, and Navi, their team fight, simply too much. I mean, Havorst is so tanky. So tanky. He got hexed back. He got netted back. He got hexed. He was sitting in a macro pyre. Got hit by, I think he got hit by an ice path as well. And he still walked out of there alive. He even popped his Phantasm and went on to kill people. Navi, I mean, the Wall of Replica and the Disruptor really making some work onto Empire. They're constantly losing their softer support heroes, and Naga Siren, she does a lot of damage, but at this point she's just being ignored by Navi. Focusing on the softer heroes. I mean, as I was saying before, I think Batrider has hit that point where he isn't really much of an issue. I mean, he could do damage on an individual basis, but in a giant 5v5, if he flies in, he's just going to get clubbed down by the CK, clubbed down by, or I guess slashed down by the Lycanthrope. BKB or no BKB, you're going to take a lot of damage from that. So Batrider at this point is starting to lose his effectiveness as a damage dealer. Of course, as a utility hero, still got some great utility there. Sticky Napalm, Flame Break, plus the Lasso onto whoever he chooses to cast that on. That's very, very valuable for a hero of Batrider's caliber. But his damage is slowly decreasing in relation to the HP of everyone else, and Disruptor, I mean, he's getting pretty good stuff on him. Thunderstrike does lose its effectiveness, but Glimpse and Kinetic Field, I would argue that those get even more effective as the game draws on. Static Storm, Silence, always useful as well. Keep in mind the Raxes have gone down. Empire did manage to bring that down. So that's going to be a constant thorn in Navi's side as we now push the 43-minute mark. But Navi, they're the ones right now that have the 2-kill advantage. And Empire, they're looking for Roshan, not for another minute though, so they're going to have to chill in this area for a little bit longer, giving Navi a chance to farm even more. Navi, I mean, they're all grouped up. They should be aware of this Roshan timer. I believe they got the last Aegis. I think it was Vorst who had the last Aegis. Is that the one that they stole? Or did Empire... Or was Blow Your Brain the one who ninja'd the last one? I don't even remember. But it doesn't matter because the next fight is going to happen at this Roshan pit. Whoever gets this Roshan is going to have a huge advantage for the next 10 minutes in the game. Unless they lose the Aegis in a stupid way, which, I mean, shit happens. It happens. Funnick gonna pop out that Firefly, gonna go straight for Vorst, but I do think this is the wrong mistake. He's gonna drag him straight into Blow Your Brain, trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. He's going to be brought down with that extra magic damage from Silent, but he's now stuck in a static storm, taking a lot of damage as well. There's the Hand of God as Arzar trying to do as much damage as he can. Dendi on the run. He's slowed down to a crawl puppy, trying to hold his ground, but without the CK to provide those illusions to tank up, I mean, Na'Vi, their options are running thin. Kinetic Field is going to latch onto Arzard, force staffing and Funnick back. Actually, no, that's a Disruptor. It's a friendly Kinetic Field. But Empire pick off Havorst. Havorst simply a little bit out of position. I mean, he's tanky, yes. And I said it was going to be a mistake as soon as they went for it. But it would have been a mistake if Na'Vi were over here. They were like more over here. And they brought down Havorst before the fight even started. Lots of magic damage coming out from Empire, and I mean, it doesn't matter how much armor you have. There's a level 2 Magpire with a Veil of Discord on top of that, and Blow Your Brain just doing her own thing. Havorst dropped like a rock. Unable to buy it back, but I mean, that was definitely a sour fight for Na'Vi, but still 29 to 29. Kill score as even gets at this point in the game. I mean, it's kind of remarkable how even the game is. But still, Empire, they're pushing in. They know that they're not going to scale as well into the late game, and I do like what they're doing. They're trying to get any racks that they can, trying to get a pick onto Light of Heaven. Scandal, Power Shot, nope, Light of Heaven is long gone. Force staffing himself in, trying to get that Hex off, which is, I mean, it's a pretty reliable way of canceling off a TP, but not if the person's already gone. But Empire, I mean, they have already taken down one melee Rax. If they could take down another, then I'm pretty sure it's going to be game. Unless they derp up and lose like all of them and don't have any buyback in exchange for those Rax, in which case, probably shouldn't do that. But Na'Vi, they're looking to equalize this top lane a little bit. They know that this top lane is going to be a constant annoyance for them. But if they can push all the way to the tier 3s, well then that annoyance is not going to be as annoying. All of Na'Vi on this top lane, all of Empire on this top lane as well. Gonna see if Batrider wants to keep going for Havorst. And if they bring him down like they just did, the fight is going to be brilliant for them. If not, well, you've seen what happens if they don't bring down the CK. He just goes to town. There's the smoke being revealed. Funnick, who's he gonna go for? No one. Flame Break scouting out. Naga Illusions doing their own thing, and Butterfly now on the Siren, plus an Aegis. This Naga Siren is stacked beyond belief. Holy crap. But Na'Vi, they're falling back. I don't know if... I mean, they could just keep farming and try to win in like 15 minutes. And at that point, lots of Empire heroes will be pretty much obsolete. Chen, I mean, he has a heal, but that's pretty much it. I guess Penitence is pretty good, but Chen's creep's not going to be as influential come late game, super late game. Whereas Na'Vi's heroes, they scale. Funnick gonna find Havorst, who's gonna initiate on who? There's the Firefly net onto Havorst. This is their target. BKB popping off on Funnick as the Magpire does get laid down. Havorst getting dropped very, very low. He's gonna go down. Yes, he is gonna go down. This could be very good for Empire, but Light of Heaven is in the middle of everything. The Wall of Rip got in a pretty good position. Scandal just sitting right in the middle. They're taking a ton of damage. Blow Your Brain hexed up, unable to do anything. There's a Ice Path from Silent hitting onto Arzard, plus Light of Heaven. They both are going to drop in 4 for none in favor of Empire. Na'Vi dropping that fight so hard because of that early death on the CK. And because of that, guys, they're going to call GG a fake GG. Is that GG? They're not leaving. Well, I guess it was a fake GG. Okay, we're going to keep going then. Oh, sorry. We're going to keep going. Empire pushing down the mid lane, but I don't think Na'Vi have any buybacks. I don't think this is buyback gold. Oh, it is buyback gold, actually. Not on the CK. Darkseer does have buyback, but it's like they don't want to fight this. They don't have their ultimates up. They don't have the Darkseer ultimate up, which is really the biggest one they need. But Empire, they're just gonna walk right in. Everyone is starting to leave, so I do think that was a real GG. Nothing like some super BM fake GG calls, but it's not a fake GG call, so it's not BM. But anyway, guys, this has been Game 1 of the Grand Finals of the Star Series Season 3 between Na'Vi and Empire. This first game does go to Empire. Na'Vi, they already had this one game, you can see right up there, coming from the winner's bracket. I'm not going to be casting games 2, 3, 4, 5 until I actually reach that point, unless a lot of people want me to, in which case I'll do that. But this has just been simply because the Join Dota VOD has been very broken, blocked in the United States. So if you're from the United States, this one is for you. Thanks for watching, guys. GG.